Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Let's wait for a while for the rest of your friends will be joining us. Is my sound clear for you? Can you hear me or not? Is my sound clear or not?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Let's wait for a while, a little bit, for the rest of your friends to join us. And 2 or 3 minutes and we'll start. In the beginning, I want to say, let me share my screen. In the beginning, the documents of the course are shared in the material section, so you can download them from here. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. Please download them. Today we will start with Part 1. Try to check or read it a little bit before starting. Okay, we can start. This is the first document. You can download it, as I said, for the ones who they came late. In the class material, here posts, shared, class materials. You can download all of them. Download, and you can download all the files. As the first file we will need is part 1. Oh. Okay. In the beginning, the course about ethical engineering. My name is Dr. Iman, and for this semester we will check ethical engineering. Ethical engineering is not, I'm gonna say, practical or something course. It is just a course for thinking about your field, your decision in the future. Please, the participants, mute your mic, please. So it is about thinking in your field, the decisions you are going to take. The best thing about, or I found the video, give you a good introduction about ethical engineering. I will ask you to take notes. I will share it if you want also to watch it individually. Up to you. Okay. You can watch it also individually. It is good explanation for, or provide a good explanation about ethical engineering. Let's watch it together and take a note, and after that we will talk about it from your opinion after watching this video. What is ethical engineering? What's about for? And try to provide definition about. You can also the subtitle here, even I don't know, I can make it also in Turkish language, but it is good for you to watch and read in the same time. It's gonna be easy for you. I can also, if the language is, or she's speaking too quickly, I can reduce this. Please take notes, because after that we will try to identify what is ethics, what's those things. Okay, I'm sorry, maybe. Okay. Hear the sound of my laptop. I'm sorry about this. I am sorry about this. Thank you for reminding me about this. Okay, let's watch it again. Also, you can also, I don't know.
We all make mistakes. In life and engineering, you're not always going to succeed. What's important is that you learn from your screw-ups and incorporate those lessons into what you do next. Because when you don't, the consequences can be bad, even deadly. To help keep us on track, we need something that will provide a sense of morality and a set of best practices for doing good in the world. We need ethics. Specifically, we need engineering ethics. Engineering is a broad, ever-changing field With so many different branches, it's good to have some common ground, a general set of guidelines or ideas for how the engineers of the world should go about solving problems. One of these is safety, which we'll talk about more next time. The other is ethics. In general, ethics is a moral philosophy that tries to deal with what's right, what's wrong, and what your duty is to do good and not do bad. Engineering ethics is essentially the same mindset, just applied to the field of engineering. It's the study of values, issues, and decisions that are involved with the work of engineers. Ethics has a particular importance for engineers because people's lives are so often going to be in your hands. It's not just about remembering your manners or being nice to your neighbour. What you create as an engineer could save a person's life or take it away. When you swallow a pill at the hospital, you need to be able to trust that the people that came up with it had your best interests in mind. When you drive over a bridge, you need to know that the civil engineers who designed it took the time to make it as sturdy as possible. The foods you eat, the cars you drive, the wires in your home, they all need to be designed with ethics in mind. If you want to see how bad an engineering failure can be, look no further than the Kansas City Hyatt Regency collapse. In July of 1980, the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri, was showing off its new multi-story atrium, decked out with 2 levels of suspended walkways. These walkways were supported by beams which were supposed to be held up by long rods hanging from the ceiling. To even the load and reduce the stress on each beam, the walkways were supposed to have a single rod extending all the way through them. But something happened between the initial design stage and the actual building of the atrium. When the builders had some difficulty putting it together, the system was modified to have 2 separate shorter rods instead of a single longer one. This design change meant that the upper rod had to not only support the weight of the walkway that it held up, but also the one below it, essentially doubling the load. During a party about a year after the atrium opened, these beams failed and the 2 walkways collapsed, killing 114 people and injuring 216 others. In terms of lost lives, it was one of the most devastating structural failures in US history. A lot went wrong, much of it caused by poor oversight and bad communication. A formal review of the change design never happened, strength calculations were never performed, work was subcontracted out, and the engineer on record put their seal on the design without personally checking everything. It all could have been prevented if only they'd followed the engineer's code of ethics. There are a couple of different ones out there, but today we'll use the code of ethics from the American Society of Civil Engineers, or ASCE. Their code of ethics has 8 distinct principles, the first being hold safety paramount. This means that your chief concern as an engineer needs to be the health and welfare of the public. The rule goes on to say that
Okay, we can stop until here. I think it's gonna be enough as a definition. So I want to say to ask you in the beginning, what do you think about ethics? What is the definition you can achieve during watching this video? What is ethical engineering? What's about? What is it? Why it's important? So, what do you think as a definition? What do you think about this? What is ethical engineering from the video? Yani, first few minutes. What do you think about it? Hmm? Hello, hello, hello. Guys, what do you think about it? During the few minutes we listen about it, what do you think about what is ethical engineering? I'm waiting your answer. Someone is writing. Okay, we can read his answer. Your friend said it is a common ethics we must follow while doing our job, solving problems. This is ethics, yes, we can say this. It is such kind of group of common ethics we should follow while we are doing our job. Engineering ethics play an essential role in our projects, yes, guiding us every stage in our projects, ensuring safety, sustainability, etc. from start to finish. Okay, but what is the okay, from Muhammad, it said it explains the engineering have not only technical but also ethical responsibility. It's about moral principle that's applied practical engineering. Here mentioned here to the practice of engineering. Okay. Doing the right thing. Okay. Protecting public safety, etc. Okay. All the definitions looking good. Yani in engineering, generally we are taking decisions every day. And these decisions actually is gonna be affect the users or the society in somehow. So we have to have such kind of code, or have, as your friend said, we have such kind or common ethical that's define the our priority. What is the first priority? What is the second priority? What is the third priority? And somehow to make sure there is no one gonna be affected with the decision you are going to take, or in somehow you find a solution in the middle. This is what's mentioned here, Yani, if you see. And all of this is based on decision making. Since I'm taking a decision, I have to have some sense of morality. What's good, what is bad? Yeah, I need to define what is good, what is bad.
Practices for doing good in the world. We need ethics. Specifically, we need engineering ethics.
For what we need engineering ethics, here we come, and in all engineers generally.
Engineering is a broad, ever-changing field. With so many different branches, it's good to have some common ground, a general set of guidelines or ideas for how the engineers of the world should go about solving problems. One of these is...
So generally engineering is about solving problems. In this solving problems,
safety, which we'll talk about more next time. The other is ethics. In general, ethics is a moral philosophy that tries to deal with what's right, what's wrong.
It is about here a philosophy, what's doing right, what's doing wrong, what's gonna be bad, what's gonna be good, and thinking about the situation in whole.
Good and not do bad. Engineering ethics is essentially the same mindset, just applied to the field of engineering. It's the study of values, issues, and decisions that are involved with the work of engineers. Ethics has a...
Okay, if we will take a definition, Yani, it's gonna be something like this. Yani it's kind of study applied to our field of engineering. Study the values, issues, decisions that are involved with the work of engineering. And since we are problem solvers as engineers, this is gonna be affects all the society. So coming back to our lecture notes, as I mentioned, you can download it from a shared section. This is the whole parts. In all of these parts, they are just, how can I say, in the first part, it has such kind of definitions. The rest is different scenarios, and actually we are going to move to philosophers in part 3 and 4. What is the source of ethics? The code of ethics coming from what? The basics, yani, the origins of the code of ethics coming from which philosopher, and of course there is differences in philosophy between nations. So we are going to check this. Here your friend already mentioned decision made by engineer usually have a serious consequences to people. Ethics and ethical reasoning guide decision making, yani, because there is no, yani, in this life there is no a perfect decision. There is in somehow a decision in between, in somehow to balance or not harming everyone. So find something in the middle. Please download this. I will give you between 2 or 3 minutes. Try to think, to read this in which language you want. Here they are talking about an issue happened in March 2011. There is an earthquake. I don't know if you heard about it, near to Japan. And this earthquake is affected a nuclear facility, damaged it, which famous by Fukushima nuclear. I think maybe if you can find videos about disaster, we don't need a big decision, but it's caused a lot of disaster for this is maybe shorts, a video. Here there is an earthquake, and in somehow the walls of the nuclear facility is damaged, and in somehow after a while they try to reduce its temperature, yani there is an issue in making it colder, and somehow it is explode, and it affects this video doesn't show anything. It affects the sea and all the area, and this effect, I think, is gonna be spread for years and years. You can read about it or find a short video that describe what's happened exactly and what is the issue here about Fukushima facility. And yani for or until now the seaside is still have such kind of radiation effect. Anyway, take a few minutes, read about this, and we're gonna move to discussion. Yani, due to this disaster or damage in this facility, and the radiation happened due to they could not keep the facility colder, because they use it for, how can I say, they said, and they are using not for making weapons or something, they're using it for generating energy. So their main aim is generating energy. So with this accident, over the world, all the world are trying to rethink again about is it ethical or not to use a nuclear power? Here we have such kind different issues in discussion. The first issue is about health and safety. This radiation, radiated particles, it's gonna be leaking. It's gonna be affect or have such kind of risk. For example, the most important as an example here, we have platinum 239. It is 100% toxic, and for this element to be disappeared, not only to reduce its effect, it needs about huge number of years to be, or the effect is gonna be reduced. So with leaking of this, how many generation we are talking about health risk? How many generation gonna be affected with this? About 8,000 generation we're gonna be affected with this accident or damage happen to this facility. Also, you know that we use such kind of radio isotopes in medical purpose, and without if we didn't use this nuclear power, maybe you could not have this knowledge about these elements and their use in the medical purposes. Not all the nuclear things are it is damaged, but it should be in somehow in such kind of medical application they are using it, maybe to, for example, detect if I want to check, for example, as an experiment, how sugar is gonna be disappeared, or where it's gonna be working, or what's gonna be transferred inside the body. So in somehow I will bring such kind of sugar, have such kind of radiation, and the concerned one, he will take it, and they can follow how this is gonna be ended or how it's gonna be cycled. And actually a lot of human functions and in case of medical or functionality are discovered by using this radioisotopes things. So this is the another issue, second about the radiation. Second thing about healthy safety, and think about different sides, not just about the power. They use it here for the power, but think about this issue in different sides. We can also thinking about using alternative, not nuclear power, other sources of power based on oil, gas, etc., coal, but in somehow they are not renewable sources, and also in the end it's gonna be create such kind of pollution, some climate change as we are living nowadays. Also, it's gonna be affect health. A lot of people maybe have such kind of issues, medical issues due to the high pollution area. Maybe if we are talking more deeply about this power issue, providing power resources that we are using in our daily life, maybe someone will, or thinking about renewable sources like wind power, solar power, as mentioned here, wind power, solar power, etc. But also in making of this or in production of this instruments or power generators, also we are going to based on the classical way of power generation, and somehow yani this in other side is gonna be also affects the environment. Also in maintenance, so we have to here to find the balance between using renewable sources, in the same time balance between the amount of energy needed to produce and maintain them, and the consequence environmental. Now I want you here in this section read a little bit about it. Here we have starting with the first two definitions, or we called about this discussion, it's kind of reasoning. Yani, when we are opening this kind of conversation, we are talking about such kind of reasoning based on this discussion, and we are trying to achieve or such kind of goals about health, safety, in medical application, etc. And you are thinking not just about the power source and what is the consequences, what's gonna be this effect, and this conversation, it's such kind of reasoning. So in this kind of reasoning, I want you to identify which type of reasoning we are using, how many type of reasoning we are used. Please read this section and answer me. I will be waiting for you for your answers. So how many kind of reasoning we have? What is the difference between them? Try to read, or even you can translate and try to summarize this in short definitions. We can take a break for 5 minutes. After that, we will continue. So my answer here, or my question here, about the type of reasoning. Type of reasoning, this is my question. Type of reasoning. What is type of reasoning? What is the difference between them? After the break, we will take a break for 5 minutes, and after that we will continue. See you.